Well, did you know that mosquitoes are actually more responsible for more deaths than any other animal, including ourselves on Earth? Each year, mosquitoes are responsible for the deaths of over 1 million people due to diseases like malaria, dengue, and Zika. What if we could eradicate mosquitoes entirely? Well, it sounds like a dream, but is it possible or even ethical? Well, today we're going to explore the science, the potential benefits, and the risk of getting rid of mosquitoes. So, I'm Lena, and today I want to discuss the possibility of eradicating mosquitoes, exploring both the technological advances that could make it a reality and the complex questions it raises. So, should we, as humans, interfere with nature to this extent, and what would happen if mosquitoes are wiped off the face of the earth? First of all, I'm going to talk about the problem with mosquitoes. So, mosquitoes are not just a nuisance, they're also deadly vectors for several serious diseases. Malaria, for example, kills over 400,000 people annually, mostly in sub-Saharan Africa. The Zika virus and dengue fever has also caused global health crises. Mosquitoes are the world's deadliest animals, spreading these diseases via their bites, often without us even realizing it. Well, the problem isn't just the annoyance of the bites, it's the diseases that they carry and that kill millions of people every single year. Now, why mosquitoes are so effective at spreading diseases? Mosquitoes are mosquitoes are so effective at spreading diseases because they have the ability to bite multiple hosts in a single day. This behavior means they can carry viruses from one person to another or from an animal to a human, where making them perfect disease vector. Not only are they efficient, but mosquitoes are also found everywhere basically, from the tropics to urban centers, meaning that the potential for disease transmission is really huge and really vast. Now, I would like to go on to talk about the efforts to eradicate mosquitoes. Well, one of the most promising ways scientists have proposed to eradicate mosquitoes involves genetic engineering. Well, this includes methods like gene-drive technology, which introduces genetic changes that spread rapidly through wide populations. One method involves introducing a gene into mosquitoes that sterilize them, preventing them from reproducing. Well, over time, this would dramatically reduce the mosquito population. Another approach is to release genetically modified mosquitoes into the wild. These mosquitoes are engineered to either carry a gene that makes them unable to spread diseases or even carry genes that could kill them off. A company called Ozitech has already begun field tests using genetically modified mosquitoes that carry a self-destruct gene. When these mosquitoes mate, their offspring die before reaching adulthood, reducing the overall mosquito population. There's also a more natural solution to being explored, biological control. This involves introducing natural predators or pathogens that target mosquito larvae or adult mosquitoes. For example, researchers have experimented with using bacteria like the Wolbachia, which sterilize mosquitoes and prevent them from transmitting diseases like tick. Now, I will talk about the ethical considerations. But is it ethical to remove mosquitoes from the environment and from the nature? Well, mosquitoes are they are harmful to humans. They do play a role, like a really big role in ecosystems. They are primary food source for birds, fish, and bats, and other insects. Some species even help with pollination. If we wipe out mosquitoes entirely, what would happen to the creatures that rely on them? Could their disappearance set off a chain reaction that harms other species and the ecosystem as a whole? And is it right for us to play such a dominant role in deciding which species should thrive and which should vanish? Well, a lot of people argue that it's not ethical to completely eradicate a species, even if they are harmful. Well, after all, mosquitoes have been part of the Earth's ecosystems for millions of years. Can we truly understand the long-term consequences of removing such an ancient and pervasive species? So instead of focusing on eradication, perhaps maybe should focus on controlling populations without wiping them out entirely. Fourth, I will talk about the potential alternatives to mosquito eradication. Well, what if instead of eradicating mosquitoes, we focus on controlling their numbers in a way that minimizes human suffering and ecological impact? One possibility is by improving our ability to control mosquito populations through more widespread use of insecticides, like the use of nets and sprays in malaria-prone areas, combined with public health education. And another option is to continue developing genetic modifications that would make mosquito less harmful, perhaps altering them so they no longer carry diseases, but without eliminating them out of the world entirely. Prevention methods such as removing standing water, which mosquitoes use as breeding grounds, could also go a long way in controlling the population. Simple measures like wearing mosquito repellents, using nets, and improving sanitation could reduce our exposure to mosquitoes and diseases without needing to eradicate them. So, in conclusion, eliminating mosquitoes may seem like a straightforward solution to the diseases they spread, like malaria, but it comes with complex ethical and ecological challenges. While genetic engineering and biological control do hold promise, we must proceed with caution, considering the unintended consequences of altering ecosystems. At the same time, we cannot ignore the global burden of diseases like malaria, dengue, and Zika. The solution may not lie on in eradicating or eliminating mosquitoes out of the world entirely, but in finding a balance between controlling their numbers and protecting the delicate web of life that depends on them. Thank you for listening.